Good day, Lucas Moloi, and thank you for watching the video. I'm an entrepreneur and mentor for the past 25 years, mentoring entrepreneurs and also starting and selling businesses on my own. So today, what is it that I want to talk to you about? I want to touch on the issue of intellectual property and why intellectual property is that many people are entering the space where they are, you know, creating work, selling the work that they create, renting out the work that they create, partnering with companies in particularly the work that they have created. Now, we want to make sure that you understand exactly what is at stake, what does it mean, and what is involved in it. As mentioned, I am not a lawyer, and this video should not count as legal advice. If you need legal advice, please see a qualified lawyer to be able to assist you with legal matters. And let's dive into it. So, IP, what is IP? What are we talking about when we talk about IP? Now, IP stands for intellectual property, and intellectual property is any work that you compose, that you create, that you conceptualize, original work. So, anything that you've come up with that is an idea, that is a song, and all such things are IP, intellectual property. Software included in that. Now, this intellectual property and that it's very important to define it and understand what it is. What are the different types of this intellectual property? So when we're talking about things like branding, logos, taglines, and such, books, music, video, those things, poetry, those are things that we call intellectual property, and they are put together really to make sure, or they are put together as artistic form or also as ideas that could be utilized for business and such things. Now, we have got this thing that is called IP protection, where you hear people every time they say, look, have you protected your IP and that? But what is this IP protection, right? IP protection, it's the measures that are there by law, very well defined to protect your intellectual property, to protect you, to make sure that where your intellectual property is being used, is being utilized, you are paid royalties, you do get credit for the work that you have done, and that's very important. We have got different types of protection when we come to IP. And specifically, we're going to look at three types of protection when we come to IP. And the first one that we're going to look at is copyright. So copyright, it's the protection that you apply for, or it's the protection that looks after things like music, things like books, where you're looking at books, you're looking at poetry, you're looking at music, you're looking at software, all that are the type that is protected by copyright, right? From there, you have got then what is called trademark. Now, trademark, it's for works such as the logos, the brand, the taglines. So those are usually those things where brands are identified with. So the brand is identified with the use of color on a certain brand. That one is protected by trademark. And then we have got what we call a patent. A patent is the one that we apply for inventions. So you have got this new invention where you have invented this new charging device that is charging things from water and such things. That we patent. Okay, because it's an innovation that you have come up with, you've innovated something that we apply then for patent. Industry that we are speaking about, copyright, you do not need to register copyright. Copyright does not need to be registered formally. Okay, copyright, by just declaring the work and saying that copyright is owned by so and so, and by just putting in that copyright mark or copyright symbol that is known, which is a C with a circle around it, that then claims copyright in that particular work that you have created. That particular work is then copyrighted by just doing that. You do not need to go and apply for copyright. As such, it then is a free or it's free, right? So you don't need to pay for copyright. It is declared in that way. So a website and such things, and that's why when you see a website, you see at the bottom of a website, there is a C with a circle around it, the copyright symbol, to declare that this is a copyright of so and so, and then after that it will put the year of the copyright. Now, why do we put the year of the copyright on? It's very important because copyright in South Africa, it's usually for a period of 50 years. So for the period of 50 years, that copyright belongs to a certain individual. And that year, it's starting from the year, the end of the year where the copyright was declared, or the end of the year where the author of that copyright passed away. If the copy of or the author of the copyright has died, it is the year that they died in. So that is 50 years after that. Now, who owns the copyright? The copyright is owned by the author. The author is the rightful owner of the copyright. Okay, and as such, that is why the copyright will belong to the author of the work. So when you have authored the work, that copyright, wherever you declare in copyright, put on your name or the company name that you are owning that copyright through. Now, with copyright and that, just by declaring that, the copyright is yours. You don't need to go and register it formally and see the IP lawyers and that, or the copyright lawyers and that. No. In South Africa, just by declaring that copyright is yours, if it is original work. But now, what is very important is that the declaring and the claiming of copyright cannot be, I said something, so I'm going to copyright it. Or I have thought about something and I'm going to copyright it. That's not how it works. Copyright needs to be in a tangible form. It needs to be recorded. It needs to be published. It needs to be in writing and such. That's what tangible would mean. The copyright has got to be in a tangible form. Then you can claim copyright on it. I, however, would like you to consider something. I say every time it is the cheapest copyright registration that you can get, where you write the work or you record the work as such, and after doing that, you take that work, you then send it to yourself with registered mail or with a courier. When it arrives, you do not open the package. You keep the package as is, and you keep the slip that shows that who sent the package to you, at what date they sent the package to you. Do this even before you go and pitch your ideas to people for funding and such things. Do that. Write it down. A business model, write it down. Write all that down. Send it to yourself through registered mail or courier service before you go and pitch it to someone. The importance of that is that it proves that before you went and spoke with this person, that copyright or that idea was yours, it existed, and you have sent the evidence of it to yourself, and you did not open that package until the day you need to open the package in terms of then a court of law. That's what I would do. So it's very important to understand that. Copyright attracts things like royalties and such. So when the work has got copyright on it, you see someone has declared copyright on the work. Remember, you cannot just use that work because you want to use it. It belongs to someone, and you need to make contact with that person, get the right to use the work, agree on things, royalties and such things, the conditions of using the work. The last thing is that when you are going to go out there and pitch your idea to people and present your idea to people, make sure that the people that you presenting the idea to sign the non-disclosure. They sign the non-disclosure to say that you are presenting this idea to them, and in presenting that idea, they will make sure that the idea is not taken to the third party. They will not discuss it to anyone without your permission, and they will not go and try to implement that idea without your permission or without you. So it's very important when it comes to the issue of copyright and that, and protect your work. A lot of people have created amazing things, and those things have been stolen to them by people, through lies, through promises, and they lose the work. And tomorrow that work is making money, and you are cut out of that because you did not protect your idea. Like I said, this is Lucas Moloi. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again. Keep on watching. Thank you. Goodbye.